All right, so let's get an update on the winter composting. So I'm in late fall. I had filled both of these stall-like bins with just shredded leaves and just kind of let them sit there. So they were filled to the top of both of the bins, and we just kind of let them go. I haven't flipped, I haven't done anything. I essentially just put a tarp on them and just let nature take course over the winter. So you still see some snow on top. Sure, the beds aren't really that warm anymore, obviously. Previous to that, when they were going, any sort of ice or snow melted quite quickly. And these did get up to about 140 and then progressively got lower. So we were just pulled back, looking at the thermometer here. Just not horribly frozen, minimal heat if anything. The top part of this does have a frozen layer, and then when we get into here, you see just kind of free-flowing leaves. You can see a lot of the water wasn't retained. It's pretty dry, so that didn't help the situation either. So I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to cut them in half, and I'm going to flip one side on top of the other in preparation for the spring, as it'll be mixed with grass clippings and all that. So probably won't see much difference compared to what we started with, but let's see what it looks like. Hopefully we have a good amount of worms in there. If not, you know, it is what it is. You can see everything dried up. I guess I didn't keep it as moist as it needed to have that surface to support the microbial life. You can still feel it's warm in here, but it's definitely not to where it needs to be, and I don't even see any worms. So it was a good attempt to see if this would work, but obviously you need a lot more water. I mean, it's not end of the world, because this will be mixed in with the greens in the spring, in the summer, so that will certainly speed things up. Just wish I would have shredded a little more and kept it a bit more moist before going in. So we'll keep going. It's not the end of the world. We'll free up, get some oxygen in here, hopefully support it that way. I was able to move whatever I could before I went over the top, so I just kind of stopped there. So when I first did this and let it go, it probably stayed between 120, 140 during these colder temperatures for about a month. And it's been about another 2-3 months, kind of slowly progressing down, but it is still retained. So just so you get an idea, even at those sort of temperatures for this long, plus even looking at the core ish, you're close to 60 degrees. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have compost. I mean, a lot of this still looks as if I just put it in there. It does take some time, and the problem with doing it on a mass scale like this, sometimes you get compaction, and that's not what you want. So see how it's not flowy anymore? It's kind of layered. You don't want that, because then you're restricting oxygen from getting in there, and it's going to go into anaerobic, which is much slower, as we already are right now. We're just dealing with a lot of carbon, and so it's the fungus breakdown. I mean, if you were to put nitrogen or like grass into there, you would definitely get a bump in the energy, and it would start going, because that is the energy that supports those systems. But right now we're going at a slow pace, which is why I wanted to flip it. One, to kind of see where we're at, see if there's any worms in here, which obviously there's not, so that's kind of disappointing, but also just to get a little more oxygen into the system and to reduce the compaction. So it works. It's just, you have to understand that even though there is heat, and there's heat generated for many of months, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be beautiful dirt underneath the tarp after all of this. So pretty much what I expected. I was hoping maybe for a little more, but it is what it is. We'll tarp it back up, and we'll leave it for the spring.